Tavares. Wilton makes a run ahead of him. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp! That's magnificent! The move, and then this, which left Dabby's ass totally stranded.
Hello and welcome to ABW Live, show 399 and the 1000th YouTube video that we have done for you beautiful people. There's only two things I care about today, really. Liverpool are not champions and Burnley have gone down. Thank you very much, footballing gods. Fuck Liverpool, fuck Burnley, la-di-da-di-da. And I think Arsenal played today as well. With me this afternoon is, this morning in Stan's case, because it's only 10:19. Look, finally, Stan, finally. Last game of the season, I can automatically tell what time it is there. At 10:19 a.m, it's Stan the man. How you doing, Treacle?
I'm doing really well. Hi to everyone in the chat box. For me, though, I've got to be honest. I feel kind of bittersweet about today's result. Really bittersweet, because as much as I'm happy of how we rounded off the season with a bit of a goal fest and qualifying for the Europa League, it just really stings me that we've lost out. I think it was at 2 points. I think it is on top.
Well, 1 point plus the goal difference, we would have had to get 2 points.
I would feel a lot better.
No, it is 2 points.
2 points.
Yes.
But I'd feel a lot better if Man United and Tottenham had switched places in the table. I wouldn't feel as depressed about it, that we've missed out by 2 points to them. So it's bittersweet for me.
I know, absolute scumbags. How does it feel being the latest member of the ABW WhatsApp group? What have you made of it so far, apart from people never fucking reply to anything?
Well, I'm still waiting for the keys to the executive washroom. So, if you can get that sorted out from HR.
I moan a lot, don't I, on the podcast about them never replying. You've seen firsthand. They don't fucking reply, do they?
See, the thing is, right, the phone that I've got, it's the little snib to put it on silent. Don't work properly. So sometimes during the night I can hear ping, ping, and then I've just worked out how to mute it for half a day.
Good. Yes. So I'm just going to get these tweets ready, because otherwise I will forget and nobody will know the show is on. And then we're going to go and say hello to some of the beautiful bastards in the chat. Right. Oh, look at that. Size double dip in. Very kind of you, Si. Very nice. That means to stat pad this show, much like Arsenal stat padded today, you watch us on YouTube and you watch us on Twitch as well. And if you're watching on Twitch, you can't mute Twitch. You have to mute the tab, not the actual show itself. Otherwise, it doesn't count as someone's watching. I know they're sneaky fuckers. Let's start from the bottom, shall we? Julio Salmondo, Brighton at home, simple. What does that mean? Who did Brighton beat? West Ham?
No, I think he's maybe saying, had we got a result.
Oh, if only we'd have had this kind of performance against Everton when they were shocking the first time. Yeah, exactly. We'd have done it that time, then we would be in the Champions League, people. Phil Macker is there. Key to the McDonald's disabled toilet, more like... I had a poo in the toilet in Edinburgh once. We drove to Scotland and back in a day for no reason. And that's
just
the only place. That's the only place I could find where I could have a poop. Sad times. Loki is there. I'm happy with the bin dippers didn't win the league. That for me is the second most important thing of the season. First, we finish above Spurs. And secondly, those fucks don't win anything, and they fucking didn't. Mark is there. Hello, Mark. Yep, Stan, exactly how I'm feeling. Phil there. Those 3 state defeats destroyed us. Well, we did that 3 times this season, didn't we?
Yeah.
One in the middle, one at the beginning, one in the middle, and one at the end. No good. Procrastinating Womble. Time to go all Quincy ME on the season. Oh, medical examiner. Great days. I'm not even going to ask if you remember, because I know you do. You're older than me. You're now the oldest person at ABW.
Am I?
Oh, Jeff's there, but Jeff's in semi-retirement at the moment.
Oh, I'll get a free bus pass as well then, hopefully.
You do. Avon is there. We were 1 win short. And what else have we got there? Albert is there. Perfect timing, just seconds waiting. Michael is there, of course, on Twitch. Who else is there? Formerly Noza is there. Hello. Divyun is there. Let's go. John Cronin. Hello. Who else is in? I'm going from top to the bottom of the thing. Matt Roberts is there. How are you doing, Matt? Hey, Dan, it would have been nice to have been on the pod, but perhaps next season we'll be able to do a bit more. You're a busy man. What the fuck's that? Oh, someone at my door delivering something. You're a busy man, Matt. See, Matt, if you want to know all about ladies football, go and give Matt a follow on Twitter. Matt L. Roberts. He goes to the games, does reports. It's very good. Nick B is there. Gemini Jedi is there also. Have I missed anybody at the beginning? Mr. Waffles. Yes. Busy knocking up stuff from bits of wood. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is there. We go right down to the bottom again. Dejan is there. Howdy doody, Dejan. Still want Arteta sacked to take it. BX is there. Divyun is double dipping. Excellent. Very kind of it. It says here we've got 3 people watching on Twitch. So we need about 100 to make any kind of difference. Never going to happen. So, we got a name down here. I don't remember. TJ Tigurish Kamar, United and mighty Arsenal in the Europa League. Well, it could be better. It could be worse. I think that was the average expectation for us this season, so no one can be overly disappointed. Stan, my notes are, I started to make them, and then I was putting little notes for when Spurs scored. Start at the beginning. Saka is the second youngest player in Premier League history to play every game in a season. Any idea who the other player was? Because I've got no idea.
No.
Yazid says hi. Hello. My next note, 16 minutes, Spurs 1-0 up. At that point, you kind of realise it's all over, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, is there any way that a miracle was going to happen today? But, that goal was quite early, I think, for them, wasn't it? And that kind of started putting the dampeners on everything.
It did indeed. 23 minute. Let's have something happy to talk about. Goal. Iwobi handball. Now, this went on. He did the handball kind of shoulder ball. And then it went on. And then it was ignored. And then about an hour later, the VAR went, oh, maybe that might be a penalty. Shit penalty to give. Took ages to check. And then he gave the pen. Martinelli took it and scored. Did you have... No, you didn't have... You don't use IPTV, do you?
No.
I had an absolute fucking... I had to pay for
What is that?
Cost me £76 fucking pound for 2 years. My IPTV, each channel was, there's about 2 of them that I was using. It would work for 3 minutes, then stop. Then it would buffer, then it would stop. Absolute fucking nightmare. So I didn't see the penalty. Was it good?
Yeah. It was Martinelli, which was a surprise. I thought, okay, because I thought Saka was on penalty duty.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, but he was confident and he tucked it away really well. As for the penalty, I thought that if the ball hit above the shirt line, sort of in this area, it wasn't given as a handball because it did look quite high. But I'm glad that we got a penalty, obviously.
Some of the shit that referees haven't seen this season. There's that one going round where the Tavares throw-in against Spurs, barely an illegal throw-in, and then the one Burnley did one. He had 1 foot on the fucking pitch when he took it. No one said shit.
Yeah, exactly.
This whole bloody thing is an absolute disgrace. Mark says I use IP Vanish. Oh, is that for your furniture? Get it up, looking lovely. Julio says, imagine how we'd have felt if Spurs had win from being 2-0 down. At least we were put out of our misery. Yes, good point. For those people who weren't watching the football today, at one point Man City were losing 2-0 and Liverpool were losing 1-0. Liverpool were back to 1-1, and then I think Liverpool made it 2-1, and then Man City 1-2, and then it was 2-2, and then Man City 3-2. I get the feeling that Pep was just fucking around with them because he didn't even play. 3
goals in about, what was it, like 4 or 5 minutes, wasn't it?
I'll have a little look. It was
a really short spread, wasn't it?
They scored 76, 78, 81, 5 minutes.
There you go.
He brings on Gundogan in 68, and then he scores a goal, and then he scores another one between Rodri scoring one in the middle.
He scores quite a lot of goals for them, doesn't he, Gundogan?
I think he might well be their top goal scorer this season. Oh, that's another thing, Liverpool. I mean, before the game started today, Liverpool were on course to win the quadruple and get the golden boot. And so now he's sharing the golden boot with Son, the cheating diving fuck. They're not going to do the quadruple, and then we'll see against Real Madrid. All they're going to do is do the League and Cup double, which Arsenal did in 1993. So fuck you, Liverpool. I hate that club. And Chelsea fans were cheering because Man City were winning. That's how much everybody hates Liverpool.
There was a big cheer went up at the in the Everton crowd as well when they found out that Liverpool were sort of like out of the game.
It's brilliant. Sire says after watching Iwobi's 5th time this season, I'm glad he's not playing for us. Bless him. Oh, and someone who is playing for us. It's Mr. Walker. How do, Karl, my boy?
Hi, Karl.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Well, we're just laughing at Liverpool.
Do you know what? I'm not sorry, Stan. What's going on? How are you?
Good, mate.
Hello, everyone in the chat. I couldn't bear if Liverpool was to win the quadruple. Like, at least now we don't need to hear for the next week about how they're the greatest team in the world and blah blah blah. And what makes it even better out of everything is the fact that their cult hero Steven Gerrard had the chance to make them win it and slipped up once again. And I use that term genuinely, like it just makes me laugh. Like I love it. So yeah, but fuck Liverpool, up the Arsenal and all sorts.
Getting a bit of love in the chat there, Karl. Lots of people saying hello to you.
Oh, sorry, I haven't even opened up YouTube. Sorry, everyone. Hello, chat. How's everyone doing? Are we happy with? I mean, it's just typical Arsenal. It no pressure, and we go out and win when we needed to win up at Goodison Park in this season. Did we lose 2-1 to them? I'm sure we did, didn't we? Like, yeah, it just shows. But you know what? A win's a win, and I'll take it. Genuinely, like a win is a win, and I will take a win any day of the week.
Good. Yes. So the season's ended on a high. Why didn't you go to the game, Karl? I thought you'd have gone with the nice weather and.
So Danny, you're gonna laugh at me again. I had
more barbecues.
Yes, I had my goddaughter is her birthday, and I had a barbecue, so I had to go there early, and I had to let her mum know that though I love my goddaughter, like I love you, Aubrey, I do. Arsenal comes first, so I had to go there, show my face, say hello, and then come back to watch Arsenal because I had to find a legal stream to watch it on. So I had to quickly come back. But yeah, that's the reason why I never went. I was going to go though.
Dejan says, yeah, Robertson has an annoying face. That is a reason I don't like Liverpool. The most annoying face is in the whole of football is is it Phil Foden of Man City? He's got that stupid haircut with a really short fringe. He reminds me of a disgruntled Romulan with that haircut. That's one for us fellow Star Trek fans. Divian wants you to sing, Karl. He wants you to sing the 69 Trust the Process. I didn't even know that was a song.
Not did I, to be honest. But, Trust the Process FC. What makes me laugh is that I've got a load of Man United fans. I'm sure everyone here also has. And they were the first ones to be saying, oh, this season's done with. We're not worried about this season. Let's look to next season. Where was that talk at the beginning of the season? Because at the beginning of the season, they were telling us about how they're going to be challenging Man City for the title because they've got Ronaldo and Sanchez and Varane. Like, where were all those people? Like, it makes me laugh. Like, Man United, they're celebrating Arsenal not getting into the Champions League. Fine, you can do that. But two of your rivals were going to win the title today. Like, where's your shame? I don't get that.
Name blocked Stan says, excuse in capital letters, excuses and happy talk everywhere. This is disgraceful. It is an English thing, a British thing. We laugh in the face of stuff that worries us. It's just the typical British way of accepting things. Oh, I've been shot in the leg and have a little giggle. Oh, I've had all my teeth pulled out and have a little giggle. Got another parking ticket. Oh, it's just what we do, isn't it? We're all gutted that Spurs have finished above us. And we're angry that so many times this season we could have got the points, but that's just what we do, isn't it, Stan?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many opportunities where we had this in the palm of our hands. I mean, I always felt that for me, qualifying for the Europa League was the minimum. And I'm happy that we've got that. I really am. It just stings that it's those lot that have pipped us to the bigger prize just by 2 points. You know, my missus could see how down I was at the end of the game, you know, and she kept saying to me, you know, always celebrate your victories. Enjoy your victories, no matter how small. And she's right, you know, because I kept saying to her, I was walking around the front room and every now and again I'd just go, fucking Tottenham. That's all I would just say, fucking Tottenham. And she'd be like, hey, you know, celebrate your victories and I'll make you a bacon sandwich. So,
Stan, can I ask you a question? Like,
yes.
And you, Danny, as well. What one game this season do you think it went wrong for us? I know you could talk about the losses to Palace, Southampton, and Brighton, the 3 in a row, but do you think there was one game in particular where it just literally went left for us? Like, that's where we genuinely lost it.
I think the Newcastle game, because that's where we kind of had it in the palm of our hands to just put out a really good performance, similar to the one a performance that we did today, and we would have been coasting. Yeah, there were some other games that would have helped us, but that was the one game where we needed to pull it out the most. You know, and I keep mentioning it on some of the other pods I'm on. The players were getting an individual bonus of about £500,000, right? If they got to 4th. So you've got that incentive, that personal incentive, and you couldn't dig it out at Newcastle. So that one for me is the one that bites the most.
I mean, I just seen that Danny's put it up on the screen, if anyone's watching. And it always seems that we lose our games in groups. So we lost the first 3.
Yeah.
Like Brentford, Chelsea. We should have won the Brentford one, but obviously COVID hit. Brentford, Chelsea and Man City, you can probably kind of say at that time were they better than us? Maybe. Like, with it is losing to Liverpool, you know, loads of teams have lost to Liverpool, and let's be honest, they are probably one of the best teams in the world at the moment. We lost to Man United and Everton together, which, let's be honest, both of those we should have won. It's all shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but we should have won. We lost to Man City, where we blatantly played much better than them, and that's the game where didn't Gabriel get sent off, and then Xhaka gave away a penalty, didn't he? So like that was kind of neither here nor there. Lost to Liverpool again, which, you know, there's no shame losing to Liverpool. And then we lost to 3 dreaded games of Palace, Brighton, and Southampton, and then losing to Tottenham and Newcastle on the bounce. Like, we go through space where, do you think it's a confidence thing, Stan, where, you know, when we lose, our heads drop and then we just can't regain momentum?
I think that the clumps of those losses that we have, the reason that we get these losses that come in groups, I think it's the inconsistency of having a young spread of players and not having maybe 2 or 3 what I would call leaders that are able to do something in game management to keep people going. Sometimes it feels like when it folds, it's like a pack of cards. It all folds. You don't just get 1 or 2 have a bad day. It seems to go through the whole team. And then you look at those 3 runner games, the Crystal Palace, Southampton and Brighton. We didn't get a single point. Nothing. I mean, you can see what this team is capable of. We've seen this team play really good football. We saw it today, but we got nothing from those 3. And I just think that the inconsistencies are down to not having that experience to help them out sometimes, that in-game management. And until we rectify that, you know, if Lacazette needs to be replaced, he needs to be replaced with experience. If Xhaka goes, he needs to be replaced with experience. If we go out and buy, say, another 2 or 3 or 4 players, all with a profile between the ages of, say, 19 and 22, we will continue to have clumps of games where we're going to have these inconsistencies, and it's going to hurt us.
I mean, Danny, do you think that's something that the manager should be managing? Like Stan said, the players are young and they don't have the experience, but do you think that's something that the manager could do better?
I think it's both, isn't it? The manager needs to get the experience because he's still only 2.5 years into the job, and some of the players are so young. I mean, like we said at the beginning of the show, Karl, that Saka is only the 2nd ever player in Premier League history, the 2nd youngest player in Premier League history to play every Premier League game in a season. I don't know who the other player was, but they didn't mention it. But looking at all of our results, that question you asked in the first place, I would say you look at the middle of December. Middle of December, we scored 9, 10, 11. We scored 14 league goals in 4 games. And then we scored 1 against City, none against Burnley, and 1 against Wolves. That Burnley game at home We should have easily won that game. I was going to expand it and see if we had anyone. No, didn't. He had nobody sent off. We had nobody booked. And then look at that one before. Yeah, they got a penalty in the 57th minute against Man City, and then we had Gabriel sent off for those two. I think that was the one we shouldn't have really got the first booking, should he? And then I think all the referees in the media were saying that he shouldn't have got the second yellow because they already had one. But that Burnley game for me, Karl, that's it. But we've seen in spells this season, we've had a rough run. Like beginning of the season, players were missing. Middle of the season, that run there where we lost to Liverpool, lost to Palace, lost to Brighton, lost to Southampton, and beat Villa 1-0 in between. Runs like that, you can see we're getting better. But runs like that are always going to happen. We beat Leicester home and away. We beat Wolves home and away. We beat... there was another team that we always struggle against that we beat home and away, whereas in recent years, they were the teams that we were struggling against. And they finished the season with a 5-1 win. But you look out there, I said in one of the podcasts, Karl, I think it was the one we were on a couple of weeks ago, 6 games this season, we lost by 1 goal. And another 5, and I think we've drawn, I'll have a look as well, we've drawn 3 games. So the 6 we lost by a goal and the 3 that we drew, that's 9 games. All we needed was a striker to get 1 goal, and we'd have finished in 4th.
I mean, that's got to be the priority going forward. I mean, technically at the moment we don't have a striker because Lacazette hasn't got a contract and he doesn't know he's going to sign. Laura's Eddie Nketiah. So at the moment, I think Florian Balogun is our only striker when he comes back from Nottingham Forest. So that's got to be the key. And I agree with what Stan said. We do need a good striker, and that's 100%. But we need someone with an experience. We can't just bring in a young striker. We need someone who knows about in-game management. We need someone with, technical game nous. And I think that although Arteta is building a young squad, and I'm all for it, sometimes I do think we need the finished article. Like we bought Thomas Partey at 27. Someone who doesn't need to work on their game, someone that is their game. And I wouldn't mind bringing in somebody who is already the finished article. If we can get 3 or 4 years out of them, that's it. Like get that time out of them, and then they can move on. Do you agree, Stan?
Yeah, perfect. 100%. 100%. It's the missing piece.
Stan, look, name blocked says blah blah blah. Young squad, more excuses. Was it a fact or was it an excuse?
It's a fact. I mean, look, as much as I love Gabriel and Ben White, they're our central pairing. They're both great individually, but they're learning at a similar pace. And it's always worried me a little bit that they haven't got an older head in and around them in the defence, even if it's somebody that's on the bench and doesn't play every game, that's helping them. And it just worries me that you're going to get a bit of stagnation. I can't even get the word out, but you know what I'm saying? If there's no one in there to help them along, when things go wrong in a game, they're looking at each other. So we do need to have a little bit of experience brought into this team.
I mean, that's why we got. I mean,
sorry.
I agree. Sorry. I think that's why Xhaka and Partey are really good in the middle of the park, because they should be able to talk to the people playing in front of them and then talk to the people playing behind them. And as much as, you can either love or hate Xhaka, he's absolute Marmite, isn't he? You either love him or you hate him. The experience that he brings to this squad and the leadership is absolutely uncanny. He's absolutely brilliant, because you think that playing in front of him, he's got Odegaard, who is 23, I believe, Saka 21, either Emile Smith-Rowe or Martinelli, who is 20 and 21 respectively. And then at the moment we had Eddie Nketiah, who is 22, I want to say. So, everyone in their 20s, if he's playing with a 27, 28-year-old striker, that experience would do so well, because that person would know when to hold the ball up, when to hold it in the corner. Eddie Nketiah at the moment is just like run. Same as Martinelli. Like, with experience, with age comes experience, even on a football pitch. So I think we definitely need, I'd love to get a young striker and then also someone who is already the finished article. Even if we get 2 or 3 seasons out of them, I would love that.
Karl, if you saw the game, Dele Alli today, I put 28th minute. Dele Alli is an absolute joke. They were attacking on the left-hand side. He miskicked it while under pressure from nobody and gave the ball to us. And then he tries to kill Cedric a little bit later on. Then he gives away a corner and he clashes with Xhaka. And but there will be a red card. But they ended up taking him off. It's hilarious to think that bloke, only a few years ago, scored 20 Premier League goals. I think it was 20 or 14 and 20 overall. What? And he's only 26 or something? What a career he's not having.
He's just gone straight downhill. I don't want to say Mourinho's ruined him because he was kind of being a little bit ruined under Poch, but his career has taken an absolute nosedive. And let's be honest, at one point he was very good. Like he was an extremely good player, and even it hurts me to say it, but he was. And I don't know what happened, with that Poch leaving, Mourinho coming in, and then under Nuno, Espirito Santos, like just don't know. But he went to Everton, and even Lampard is not playing him. So they must be seeing something in training where it's like, well, bloody hell, that he's not the player that he was. And someone may try to come in and get him, but I saw reports the other day that even Everton are trying to flog him off for like 20 million or something along them lines. So yeah, listen, I'm happy. I don't like him. I think he's always been a prick. Like from his Tottenham days, gone to Everton, he hadn't changed. I'm just glad that the fans booed him at every single opportunity, which rattled him, which was really, really good.
Do you not remember on the Amazon thing that they did behind the scenes at Tottenham?
I didn't watch it.
I watched it.
I didn't watch Tottenham one. I saw clips of it.
It was quite entertaining, but I remember in a part of that where they were in their sort of like training room where they watch stuff, whatever, and Mourinho was kind of like digging Dele Alli out for his sort of like lack of efforts in training. So that was even way back then, and I remember listening to that and thinking, oh, okay.
So it must be something like, and do you know what? Yeah, like I said, at one time he was very good. He was a talent, but he's dropped off, and I could care absolute less, to be honest. I don't care where he goes. So he go back to League One or wherever the hell he can't. MK Dons, wasn't it? I'm sure he
back to Milton Keynes, yeah.
Yeah, no, let him go there because he'll never get back to where he was. I don't know if he believed his own hype and started to think that he was better than he was. Like, no idea, but
yeah, as my missus would say, he started smelling his own farts.
Yeah, that's what maybe he started doing. And to be honest with you, I'm just really happy that the Arsenal fans let him know today just how much he was. Oh God, I'd like to see Man City with the trophy. As long as it's not Liverpool, I don't really care, to be honest. But yeah. But do you know what? This season, I think it's shown us a lot. I think all the three of us can also agree that we are annoyed that we didn't make top four just because it was in our own hands and we lost it. And I think it was there. But at the beginning of the season, if someone said we would have been fifth, would we have taken it from finishing 8th 2 seasons in a row?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that was the goal.
So if the goal was to get back into Europe, which we achieved our absolute minimum, and we missed out on overachieving by 2 points with playing with a handicap, I think, all season because we didn't have a natural striker.
Yeah.
Both our fullbacks were missing for maybe just over half the campaign. Our midfield, one of our greatest midfielders this season, has been missing for God knows how long. If we start to click next season, and it's all if, buts, and maybes, I understand. Next season, surely top four has got to be the minimum. Do you think, Stan, like the minimum next season benchmark has got to be getting into Champions League?
Well, if we invested, what was it? We've invested over £200 million, and that managed to get us an improvement of, what was that, three places in the league. If we're going to go again big in the summer, then you would think that money invested should be enough to take us at least up another place. At least another place. If we've managed to do what we've done with papering over the cracks, with hardly any bench, with no variety, been able to do no variety sometimes in games because we've got nothing to draw from. Hardly sometimes playing feels like with 10 men because we haven't had a striker, it felt like in a lot of the games. We should be able to kick on.
I mean, Danny, next season, obviously we're now going to be playing Sunday, Thursday majority of the time. With our squad at the moment is paper thin at the moment, so we are going to need almost a second replacement player in almost every position because we can't play. No player can play every single game. So that means Saka having to get more of a rest because there's no way Saka can play Sunday, Thursday every single week. So, and let's face it, Pepe is going to be leaving. Leno is going to be leaving. So I know we've got a new replacement goalkeeper. We are going to need another, probably maybe another defender, centre back, another centre mid. Kieran Tierney, he can't give us a season of football. He's injury prone. As much as I like him, Tavares, I'll be honest with you, how that man is a footballer for Arsenal, I have no idea. I think he's just brain dead. We still got to be looking at Tomiyasu as well. Can he give us a whole season of football? But then we've got Bellerin coming back. Is Bellerin going to be sold? Is he going to stay? Like, there's so many different variables of what could happen this season. But I guess the question I'm asking, Danny, is how much investment do you think is actually needed? I mean, we've got the two strikers that we 100% need, but what else do you think are key positions that we have to have?
First, we've got someone new on Twitch who said hello. Initial stupidity, good name. And we've had Rockford Stone follow us on Twitch. That's lovely. That's nice. What do we need? Well, we need a backup fullback. Well, it depends on who's going to leave. The Arsenal, the person here, Name Block, says, let's stop lying to ourselves. AFC aren't going to buy anyone we need. Well, statements like that proves you're an idiot because we're going to buy lots of players, just like we did. That's why we didn't buy anybody in January. We're going to buy lots of stuff that we need in the summer transfer window, maybe 5 or 6 players. A lot of that depends on who we manage to get out, but like you were saying, Karl, we need Tammy Abraham. We need Gabriel Jesus if he's going to come, or maybe an Ollie Watkins, who today was absolutely world class against Man City, apparently. Maybe even a Calvert-Lewin if we can't get Tammy Abrahams. And then we need someone in central midfield who's going to break up play because we've got Partey's moved there recently, and he's the one that plays in front of the back four. We need someone whose job it is to sit there, like Torreira did for the first 6 months. So that's 3 players we need. We need the young Hickey from Bologna who can play left back, left midfield, right back, right midfield. He can play anywhere across the back 8 positions because he's dual-footed. And you go and have a look at him on transfer market. You see all the positions they've been playing him this season: right midfield, left midfield, right back, left back. Plays all of them. Brilliant. Scores goals. That bloke is the Jules Grimandi. He's the Remy Gard. He's the Cedric, the kind of player that can play in all these positions, but he's better than all of them. So we can get him in and then get Cedric out the door. But we just need to make sure that we get the right players out. I think we need a backup goalkeeper because Arthur isn't good enough. Leno is leaving. And the American that's coming in, I'm not sure if he's coming in. Is he coming in from Colorado Rapids or DC? I know we got one from each.
I can't remember.
Well, whichever one of those is coming in. But the big money is going to go on the strikers, Karl, because we've got we've got the players to create the goals, as we've seen so often this season, 10, 20, 30 chances, and we'll get 1 goal, and that's what we need. So the big money is going to go on those 2 and maybe a defensive midfielder.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think with the playing 2 games a week, I think that's going to be quite important. But the thing is, as well, is that whoever we buy is going to say that we buy a fringe player who's on the cusp of their World Cup squad. I think that will be really good just because they're going to be playing out their skin to try and make their World Cup squad. So they're going to be really, really hungry. And then we're going to, but obviously we don't want to fall off after the World Cup if they do make it. It's really weird. Obviously next season we're starting quite early and then the World Cup coming like in November, which is just going to be like a really weird time. It's because aren't they playing back-to-back group games in like the Champions League and also the Europa? So literally for 6-7 weeks straight, we will be playing Sunday, Thursday, like just to get the group games out of the way before the World Cup. So what I'm trying to say is we are going to need to do business early because surely everybody, because there's such a short time before the season starts, I think it's only 5 weeks. I'm sure it's something along them lines. Do you think that Arsenal now, they 100% know that they're in the Europa League? They would have had a Champions League target, and then they would have a Europa League target. So do you think, Stan, that we could still go over some of our Champions League targets even though you're in the Europa League? It just, depends on how much Arsenal want them and how much they're willing to pay.
Well, this is where you see whether Edu and Nicolas are worth their cheddar. This is for them now to go and start waxing lyrical into the ears of their targets and selling what it is that they have to offer. They've done it with Martin Odegaard, because I remember back then, back around when we had Martin Odegaard on loan, and then he went back to Madrid, and everybody was saying that the players didn't want to work for the manager. And I'm like, well, how can that be? Surely a player like Martin Odegaard, who sampled it at Arsenal, if it was as bad as everyone's saying, he wouldn't be coming back. He'd be like, no, thanks. It's a shit show over there. So it's down now to Mikel Arteta and Edu to sell the project. The money's going to be there. It's just that you get some of those, you get some of the attitude of some players. Well, if it's not Champions League, they don't want to come to you. Rather than say, yeah, I'll come, I'll be the cherry on top, and I will pull you up and drive you into the Champions League. I want a player that's coming with that kind of an attitude.
Like Odegaard.
Yeah, I want that kind of an attitude of a player. If they're saying that, well, you're not in the Champions League, find somebody else, someone that's going to take us into the Champions League.
No, I agree. We need someone who's going to come in and say, do you know what? I was the missing piece that last season.
I'm the one.
I'm going to get you there.
Should we have a moment of happiness, Karl? And although I'm an Inter Milan fan, Oli Giroud at the age of 35 scored 2 goals today, and it looks like, I haven't gone and checked, but it looks like AC Milan have now won Serie A, and so Giroud has gone there and he has won. Yeah, he's won. They won the game 3-0. And so he's got a title at last. The last one he won was when he was with, I think, Montpellier in France. And then we bought him the next season. And so he's now champions of Italy. So well done, Mr. Giroud, you beautiful bastard.
Does
that make you happy?
It does, because although, that 2016 when Leicester won it and he didn't score for 14 games, not going to lie, I was calling him every name under the sun. But the man is... he pops up with goals that really when you need them. And he wasn't a bad player. He just went through certain spells. So I liked Giroud. Do you remember 2-1 to Giroud or 2-0 Giroud? That was always the chant in our group chat when we was doing the predictions league. But happy for him. I'm not happy for Ivan Gazidis because I don't like him. But credit to Olivier Giroud, well done.
He seems to have it all, doesn't he? He's a chick magnet and a trophy magnet. Everywhere he goes, he just attracts trophies.
Do you do an impersonation of your Mrs.'s accent, Stan?
No, why?
Oh, have you heard? Because I know you do voices. I always do my mum's when she's here. You little bastard! That's all I ever say. But have you heard Chris's accents that he does? You and him could work together and do an entire show of wonderful. He's magnificent, any Karl.
No, I didn't know that.
God, yeah. He does great accents. He has done them for a while. But 30 minutes, the Eddie goal, Saka corner. Sorry to get it back on track, but there was no real running order for today's show. Karl, Eddie, Saka corner, curls it in. Martinelli jumps up with, I think, Xhaka. I think Martinelli gets a slight hair on it. And then Eddie gets a header. Do you ever think you'd see the day when Eddie would score with a header? He did.
Yeah, he's done it. He's done it before. I remember. Do you not remember when he in the League Cup and he came on as a substitute and he scored with his first touch? It was a header. Many years ago. I think he scored 2. I'm sure he did something like that.
I remember nothing.
Nah. Do you know what? It's going to be sad to see him go. And I don't know. The thing is with that, I don't know whether he's playing better than he thought just because he's playing for a move. I'm sure he's got a move lined up already. We just don't know. I'm very sure some club has told him, we're going to sign you, just not being announced yet because he's technically not out of contract at Arsenal yet. But Eddie scoring today makes me happy. Wasn't he our top league scorer with 5 goals, which just shows you how depressing this season has been, to be honest. But do you know what? Wherever he goes.
Our top goal scorer in the league is Saka with 11, Smith with 10, Ødegaard 6, Martinelli.
Okay.
Martinelli 5, and Gabriel I think Gabriel and Eddie have both got 5. I'm not sure. 16th of May. Yes, that's not been updated. It's Eddie and Gabriel are both. Gabriel and Gabriel are on 5. Martinelli is now on 6. Ødegaard's on 7.
We need more goals in the squad.
We do. I mean, our top goal scorer this season's got 2 of them, 12 goals in all competitions.
Yeah,
that's not good.
Well, you say all competitions. We was only in 3.
Every time I say that,
got knocked out of 1 straight away, and the other one, we made it to the semi. So, but next season, I did more games. But get back on track. Eddie Nketiah, happy for him. Happy that he got his goal. Where he goes next season, good luck to you, Eddie.
Do you want him to stay?
Do you know what? I'm going to say no, because I feel like there are better players out there than Eddie Nketiah. I feel like Arsenal can get a better player. And if we really, really wanted him to stay, I think we would have gone a little bit harder for him. And it was only because Lacazette wasn't scoring at all why we decided to throw Eddie in. And it's all of a sudden, it's like, oh, it's really weird when we have a striker that can actually run and they can put pressure on the other defenders, and we actually get goals. And I think it was just too late. He stuck with Lacazette far too long. Lacazette had 1 goal from open play in like 19 games, which is for our striker, which is absolutely ridiculous. So I wouldn't want to keep him. I just feel that there's much better players out there. I mean, Stan, Dominic Calvert-Lewin today, I thought he played really, really good. Would you take him at Arsenal?
He's not a player that really tickles my fancy, to be honest with you. But looking at Eddie and Lacazette, both of those players, I think, have had plenty of time to cement themselves into the Arsenal team, and they've just never really come across that they've been able to do that. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he's not a player. I don't know what it is about him. Maybe it's the man bun. I'm not into man buns, but I never trust a man with a man bun. I just can't trust him. But I'm not sure. A little bit injury prone as well. I'm not sure.
That's why I brought this up, Stan. Injury prone, but look at his previous seasons. Last season, 33 out of 38, 36, 35, 32. He's only had 1 season, which is this way. He's been a bit injury prone. Okay. Look at that. Last season, 21 goals. He's only just gone 25 as well. Is that big enough for you to see? Does that change your mind at all?
Man bun, though. If he gets an haircut, maybe I'll reconsider.
I think Abramovich, he had a man bun for a while, and he's not a bad player, is he? Or was he? He's 40 now, still playing.
He's got a double.
I like him,
he's got Abramovich. He's got the double curse, and he's got a man bun and a goatee. I mean,
Yes. Shall we? I'll get rid of that because I like him. Karl likes him. I think we should get him, and he's English, which is brilliant. Then it's 32nd minute, Karl, Spurs 2-0 up. I mean, I only stopped making notes of Spurs when they got 3-0 up. 47th minute, Karl. Stan, because I did Karl for the last goal. Donny van der Beek, Iwobi down the right. He was walking. It was like old men. I remember Hollick used to play walking football, Karl. It reminded me of that. Iwobi going down the right wing. Casual ball into DCL. He gets it and goes, he taps it slowly across goal. And then and no one clears it. He taps it right between our two centre backs, and it's like Ramsdale and our 2 centre backs have made a little triangle, and he put it right between all of them, and no one really took any notice of it. And then Donny steps in between our 2 centre backs, toe pokes it, scores. Were you angry about the defending of there, or was it last game of the season you didn't care?
It brought a tear to my eye because I'm a big Donny van der Beek fan. I really wanted him to come to Arsenal. I loved him when he was at Ajax. So it did bring a tear to my eye when I saw that. But you're right. It was almost like the ball just kind of like trundled through everybody to Donny van der Beek, who had acres of space to just slot it away. Don't know. Look, maybe everyone had just switched off for those few moments.
How about you, Karl? Were you angry or did you just fuck it?
Because where was the left back? I'm on Tavares because I think I genuinely think he's one of the worst players Arsenal have ever signed. Genuinely. And so I was on him because whenever a ball comes across the box like that, the first thing you say is stop the cross. Where was the left back? Why was he allowed the player to get out of position? So it pisses me off. I think we could have done better on that. And again, it's now no clean sheet for the team in like 8 or 9 games, which I'm not going to lie to you, it's a little bit of a worry. Like, I'm being very honest because Ramsdale came in and was like,
my last clean sheet, Karl, was 19th of March against Villa. So we've now gone 10 games without one.
That's worrying. And I know people will say, "Oh, we haven't had Tomiyasu, or we haven't had Tierney." Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they shouldn't be playing every single game anyway. So I don't know if we need someone to challenge Ramsdale for the number 1 spot because maybe he's believing his own hype as well. But to be honest with you, it's a worry that he hasn't kept a clean sheet for that many games.
Indeed. Mr. Waffles, who's been on quite a few times, Stan, as a man bun.
I know. I'm alienating myself, ain't I? I've outed myself as a man bunnist.
And he's made himself his own guitar, and he's going to go full. What was his name?
Jeff Jarrett will come and smack out of my head.
He's going to go whack you. He's not that far from you. He's in top left-hand corner.
Honky tonk man.
That's it. Great days. Great days. A new person in the chat I've not seen before. M. Chamberlain. Hello. How are you? If you like it, give us a subscribe. Don't have to. It doesn't make any difference. YouTube hates us. Right, Karl. So that was that. 55th minute, Karl. This was in between my IPTV constantly going off. I must have had to reload about 60 times during the game, driving out the fucking wall. Goal, Saka, corner, out to the edge of the box. Cedric spanks it into the top middle of the net. Everton don't care anymore. That was a great goal, wasn't it? And then he tried it again a little bit later.
Yeah, he was going to try again, wasn't he? He was always going to. But that was a lovely goal, like absolutely lovely. Even when it went in, I was like, "Ooh!" That's why it takes all the free. That's why it takes all the free kicks and stuff. Like, we don't see it. We're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But because he probably does that in training all the time, you can just imagine that all the time he does that in training, and you think, "Oh shit, yeah, he's brilliant." And then that comes to match day, you're like, "What the hell are you doing?" But now, credit to him. Brilliant. I don't know if he'll be there next season, if I'm really honest. But you know what? If you are going to leave Arsenal, what a way to sign off. Like, absolutely wonderful goal.
Yeah. Stan, anything to say about that?
Didn't he do one similar on his debut as well, didn't he? I think as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe just bookended his career at Arsenal, and one at the beginning and one at the end.
Hopefully.
See you later.
Yeah, we're going to get Hickey now. We don't need him. Mr. Waffles is just down in Olympia. Oh, fight. You two might be on a show together, and then it's only because Stan doesn't have any hair. Dear Stan.
No, but it's self-inflicted. I shave it off once a week.
Really?
Otherwise, if I just left it, I'd be like Michael Jackson when he was like 8.
Oh, you should try that. That's quite the look at the moment.
I might do.
57th minute, Karl. Great run down the right by Saka. Great dribbling run, and he mistimes his steps, stumbled, and couldn't get across in for I think it was Martinelli, who was ready to score. That looked like that was going to be another great goal, didn't it, on the counter attack? Karl.
I think he was a little bit greedy. I'll be honest with you. I think he could have squared it earlier, but he wanted the goal. So it's youth. And I can't blame him. He was already 3-1 up at the time, so he just wanted his goal. But if he was 1-0 down, or 1-1, and he didn't square it, I would have been unhappy. But you know what? Can't blame the kid. He's been our player of the season this season, so he's entitled to take that sort of shot, like in the last game of the season when we're 3-1 up.
Stan, what do you think about the Player of the Year awards, it was Foden got Young Player and De Bruyne got Player of the Year. I think personally that's fair. Saka's been brilliant, but Foden's been better, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's in a winning team as well, right? So that always shades it, I think, a little bit when you've got a young player in a team that's winning.
You're getting man bun grief. Divian
I
says
know.
someone standard of man bun. The stocks guy. Oh, socks guy. I thought he said stocks. You like socks? I have one sock that is. I bought three pairs of Converse from Cambridge Beehive Centre in 1990.
I was a bit worried there, Danny. I didn't know where this was going there when you said I've got one sock.
Well, it's just pointless. We've got someone who's a sock fan, and I bought 3 pairs of Converse, and I love them. I wore them every day. Now I've got one. I've got this one sock. It's in my bottom drawer. It sits there, and I refuse to get rid of it. Although I lost the rest of them years ago. You what?
Does it come out on special occasions when you go to your special website?
What, Gimli's wank sock? Remember that was a Twitter account. That was an actual Twitter account that somebody set up after he told that story. No, my sock has never had anything other than a foot in it.
I mean, if that's everyone's got their niche, Danny. So if that's what you like, I mean,
I'm just talking socks with a sock guy. My Convert, I'm going to bring it out next time. I'm going to dig it out.
Please don't.
I had a special sock once, but my mum found it one time when she was cleaning my room and she threw it away.
Did she beat it to death with a broom and then chucked it out the window?
She carried it out in the room like that, probably.
Oh dear! Oh, Brady's banana has turned up. Better late than never. I'm with you on the man bun. Get to the barbers. Yeah, but hipsters. David is a hipster, and in that part of the world, he's considered ultra trendy, and he's a man of the arts. He's good with wood. There we are. Back to socks. Right. Oh yeah, another goal. This one happened. Normally I put goal by 59th minute. Who had the last goal? Was it you, Stan?
No, it was Karl.
All right. Now, next goal, 59th minute. Saka corner into the middle of the box this time. His range of corners is fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
and his free
delivery.
kicks,
very good delivery.
Everything is superb. Remember when we used to have people taking corners and they wouldn't beat the first man?
Yeah.
Now Saka's all over the shop.
Yeah, he's like, used to watch you. Can the ball get to the first man? Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. No, usually. Saka corner into the middle of the box this time. Everton header it out to Cedric. And you think, yeah, they're going, shoot. He has a teeny little bit of a run, has a kick. Was it a kick or a pass? And then it hits Gabriel, stops, and Gabriel goes, oh, thank you very much. And then he turns and shoots home. Quality goal. And then VAR tried to ruin it, but it was still allowed, Stan. Great goal.
My missus, she let out a little yelp for that one because she's a Gabriel fan. She's liked him from day one, and it was a good finish as well. You know, man, good finish for a centre back. That was good finish.
Karl,
he's chipped in with a few goals now, hasn't he? This season, he's not goal shy at all, is he, Gabriel?
5. Our list hasn't been updated on Wikipedia, so it says 16th of May. So he's now got in the league, he's got 5 in 35. And that's in all. He didn't play the FA Cup, all those FA Cup games, Karl, and he played 3 of the League Cup games. But it reminds me a little bit of Gilberto Silva, not just because he's Brazilian and a lump, but Gilberto used to score a half decent number of goals per season for us, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, when you got a goal scoring centre back, that's brilliant. And because did he score on his debut? I must say against Fulham or Villa. I can't remember.
Yeah.
One of those two.
He wasn't going to play, was he? But it was only because of COVID they put him in. He was going to maybe just watch that one, and he scored on his debut.
Yeah, so it's brilliant. We needed a left-footed centre back for ages, didn't we? Like 2 right-footers don't go well together. I think at centre back. So it's brilliant now that we've got a left-footed centre back. Maybe we need a replacement because Mari is left-footed, but he's going to be nowhere near the squad. He'd definitely be sold or let go next season. And with Saliba, I mean, he's right-footed, isn't he? But we'll see what happens with him because there's too many rumours going around about what he said and the translation. So we'll see about that. But no, for me, Gabriel, I think he's had a solid season. Yeah, he's had a few hiccups. I think he needs to control his temper, but that may just be part of his game. It's like Granit Xhaka, isn't it? Like, you don't want to take the temperament out of Granit Xhaka's game because that is him. So, next season, let's hope for more. He's going to have to be playing much more games. Hopefully, he will have a run in the Europa, a run in the FA Cup and the League Cup and the league. So, I think he has been one of our solid performers this season. I mean, you can't go wrong with him. He's just been good. Do we want more from him? Has he made a few mistakes? Yes, but what defender hasn't made mistakes? There's not a defender in this league that hasn't made a mistake, including the great Van Dijk, who didn't win the league. Let me just add that. Just in case anyone wanted to know, Liverpool didn't win the league today.
A couple of things here to clear up. My fellow sock enthusiast says, I think that's more goals from Gabriel than Lacazette in the league this season. It is indeed. Gabriel's got 5, Lacazette's got 4. And someone else, Waffle, says that Gilberto is one of his favourite players. I always forget until you look back and you think, can't have been. In 06-07, Gilberto scored 10 Premier League goals in 34 games.
Wow. And
then we let him go to Panathinaikos because he wanted a 2-year contract and Wenger would only offer him a 1. My good God, sir.
For so long, though, we were never really any threat at corners, were we? Don't put the kettle on when it's a corner for Arsenal, but now we actually get something out of it. Same with the free kicks as well. Odegaard, when he takes a free kick and he's over the ball, that there's a good chance that something might happen. Invariably, he forces a save from the goalkeeper.
I want to know if Benny Blanco has scored this season. I'm just looking for him. He has scored 0 in 37 games, but that's not his job, as you probably know. Phil's tidying his sock drawer. I'm surprised you're allowed to own a drawer, Phil. I wouldn't have thought you like. Nick's here. Nick from our beloved Norwegian person. Get well soon, Nick. He showed us a picture of his leg. Yeah, he's not been a well boy. If John was there, he'd give it a good old slap and a massage for you and make it worse. But he's been to A&E, so people give Nick some love. Only for this one time, in case his leg comes off. And we can't have 2 blue badge holders at ABW. That's not allowed. So he's going to have to just deal with it. Where are we? Noser says, sorry, Karl, could you say that again? I couldn't hear you about Liverpool, whether they won the league or not.
Just in case anyone didn't know, and I'll repeat it, Liverpool failed to win the league today. No quadruple for you. You don't have to hear about that shit all week. And genuinely, I hope that Benzema scores a flipping hat-trick against them on Saturday and dents their flipping Champions League dreams as well. So don't need to see them smile. Nothing like that. Fucking love it. Hate Liverpool. I can't. Do you know what? Liverpool, them in the league would have been
a nightmare.
Horrible.
I can feel it coming through the screen, Karl. I can feel it radiating.
No, they're the worst fans. They are. I hate Tottenham, but that's just them. Man United fans always going to be Man United fans. I've grown up with Man United fans all my life, so you can kind of tolerate them. But Liverpool fans, when anything doesn't go their way, they are the ones that moan the most.
Permanent victims.
Always professional victims. That's exactly what they are. They just moan. And I've got a Liverpool friend in one of my groups, and he's kind of silent. And the only thing he can say is, "You ended up 5th." Okay, that's calm, but we're happy with 5th. You ended up 2nd, 2-horse race this all season. Let's face it, you lost, and your greatest ever player had the chance to stop the other team winning the title and failed. Slipped up. Gotta love
loser.
That. Exactly what he is. Bottle job.
So just to confirm, Stan, can Liverpool do the quadruple this season?
In case anyone's missed it, no, they cannot.
Good. Just to make sure. So if anyone's got any more questions about whether Liverpool can do the quadruple or win the league this season, you let us know and we'll answer. We'll do our very best to answer it. Yeah. Phil wants to know what Nick's done to his leg. If Nick wants to tell people, then it's up to him. We were nice once, never happen again.
I've got a question, just quickly. I just on the screen, I've seen it. Stan, would you take Fernandinho from Man City?
Well, how old is he now?
Oh God, 30. I want to say 33. Dan will probably tell me before I get there.
No, I won't bother you. I'll let you go and find it.
I wouldn't mind having him in and around the squad for a season. doesn't mean that he has to play every game. But again, what we were saying earlier, there would be a lot that some of our players could probably learn from him.
Oh, no, he's 37. Fuck that. No, I wouldn't take him.
Wow.
He's 37, bloody hell.
Wow.
Magnificent player in his time.
Maybe if he looks after the kits or something like that.
Didn't they have two players with the same name once? Two Brazilians.
They had Ferdinand and Fernandinho, didn't they?
Yeah.
Fernando and Fernandinho.
Divian on Twitch. Thank you very much, Divian, as always. Nice that you double dip in there. If anybody else wants to double dip, go and watch us on Twitch and watch us on YouTube. But make sure you've got them unmuted. Just mute the browser if you're watching on a PC or Mac. Divian says, Stan, or both of you, so does Ødegaard get the armband permanently next season? What juju would we need for him to avoid the curse? Do we need to sacrifice to the football gods? Yeah.
See,
Good question.
I'm a big Ødegaard fan, and he captains at international level. But when I've watched him wearing the armband, there's been a few times, for example, there was one match in particular where Cedric took a free kick and he blasted the ball over, and then we got another opportunity for a free kick in a similar area, and Ødegaard's over the ball, and he basically let Cedric come over and just like boss him away from the ball to take it again. That was a perfect opportunity for him to be a captain and say, look, mate, you've already had one and you almost killed a pigeon with that one, so I'm having this. And he just let him boss him out of the way. So I did notice that. Lone Star makes a good shout for Gabriel. I'm not sure how good his English is, but he seems very vocal during games. So unless he's a shout in Portuguese, people seem to be understanding him. He'd be a good shout as well. Who would you guys go for if you could choose?
I'd go for Ødegaard. I'd have Xhaka to be the captain because I think that he is a perfect captain. I genuinely do. He talks, he knows the game, he's honest, and that's what we need. But maybe sometimes the R-band comes with a lot of pressure. And, when he was, when that whole incident happened, we wasn't playing well at the time, and maybe the manager and, just didn't play well. We weren't very good, and maybe the pressure got to him. With Arteta, someone who can put his arm around Granit Xhaka, and I think that's what he needed. And he's got that now, but fans don't forget, do they? And when he was telling the fans to F off and clapping, I don't know whether fans would ever forgive that. And as soon as he does something wrong, because next season he will get a red card. There's no doubt Granit Xhaka next season.
You sound pretty certain he's going to be here next season.
Oh, to hear the response from the crowd when he went off, they love him.
I think he will. I don't think Arteta will sell him unless it's some agreement that we don't know. I just don't see... What is Granit Xhaka now? 29, 30? Something along them lines. I would keep him. What's the resale value is going to be nonsense. So you might as well just keep him for the time being. Whether he'll sign another contract, I'm sure his contract must be running short soon.
Xhaka is 29. He'd be 30 in September.
I'd keep him. Like, I genuinely would. And I'd love him to stay and be the captain. Like if Arteta sits down with Granit Xhaka and says, look, yeah, we came up short, but listen, I'm going to build the team around you, because they will do, because he is the centerpiece. And they'll say, look, we gave you a partner in Thomas Partey, and when you two played together, you played well. Sadly, Partey can't stay fit for some unknown reason. He can't. It's just like Kieran Tierney. So as a replacement, we are going to get you someone else that you can play in the centre of the park with, because Granit Xhaka is very rarely injured. The only time he misses a game is when he's suspended. So, he's going to give you... Granit Xhaka is not going to give you brilliant 8, 9, 10s out of 10 performances, but he's a solid 6. Granit Xhaka will give you a solid 6. Unless he gets sent off, then he gives you a 3. So, for me, I'm keeping him. I'm assuming that you wouldn't, Stan.
Well, I was really hoping that we could upgrade on him. I just think that I understand. I do understand the qualities that he brings and that you've highlighted, but I'd like to be able to upgrade on him.
But we don't have... I understand what you're saying, but we don't have unlimited money. So for me, there are other places in the squad that need more attention. And I'd rather the money be spent for 2 new strikers and a replacement left back, because I don't want Tavares anywhere near the squad next season. And you're forgetting that when Pepe goes, because Pepe is going, technically we've only got one right attacking midfielder. So we are going to need, because Saka can't play every single game, so you are going to need a replacement for Pepe as well. So I just think those places in the squad need more attention than an upgrade on Granit Xhaka. If we get like an unbelievable offer, like if Roma or someone comes in with a 20 million pound for a replacement, the 29-year-old, yeah, I'll probably take that. But anything less than that, I'm not taking. I personally wouldn't take.
I want him here. The next season, we're going to have at least 15 more games. Well, more than 15, because we're probably going to get another 2 or 3 games in the FA Cup. We're going to have up to 18 games, I think, to get to the Europa League final. So best part of 15 to 20 more games next season. And, we need all the players we can get. Our very own Cactus Cash is in the chat, Richard. We need to sign 2 forwards, 1 big and 1 who can play wide and up top. Also need 2 central midfielders, depending if we sell Torreira and a replacement right back. I think the deal for Torreira has been agreed, 15 million-ish.
He's lost his shirt number, hasn't he? He lost his squad number to Martinelli.
Yeah, 11. Martinelli,
no, didn't Fiorentina say that the deal's off because Arsenal, they wanted to pay less money and Arsenal said no. So they said, okay, we're not going to sign him. So he's on his way back, I believe.
Nick says 4-year deal for Granit. I mean, Granit has turned his career around, hasn't he? And I think he's blunt when he tells the facts. His blunt honesty has gone down well with plus the video about his family getting abused and his blunt honesty about some of the players aren't listening to the manager. That sort of stuff. So those sort of things can make or break a player, can't they, Karl? And they've both gone in his favour, and the crowd have turned. Most of them seem to be okay with him.
Yeah, until his next mistake. Remember, Arsenal fans are very fickle. So, he's done well. The next game in the season, like say the first game of the season against, I don't know, God knows, Fulham, because we all.
I was going to say Fulham. Yeah,
you all seem to get like a newly promoted team. So, and he makes a mistake. Say he gets sent off and gives away a penalty and gets sent off. Trust me, they'll be like, "You should have sold him in the summer." Blah blah blah. So
yeah,
I will. I will. Yeah.
So, he's only as good as his next mistake. And Granit Xhaka has got a mistake in him. He's not perfect by any means, just like any player. But for me, I just think that, like you said, Danny, we're going to have so many more games next season. I feel like he would do well to be in the squad next season. And I personally would keep him. But like I said, you come in, no players irreplaceable, and no players not subject to a stupid bid. Like, even I love Saka, but if Liverpool came in with a £200 million bid for Saka, would I sell him in a fucking heartbeat? Like, let's be honest. But
blasphemy.
You would as well. If 200 million for 200 million,
that would
200 mil.
I would change the Gunnosaurus to a stuffed Saka, and I'd put Saka's face on the Arsenal badge from now on. That bloke is the next Arsenal legend in the making. I wouldn't care how much money. There is nil. I would do what La Liga do and put one stupid transfer values on them. Right, Karl, talk about the last goal from Odegaard. I'm just going to go and have a wee now. I need to stop my camera.
Oh, okay. Odegaard, that was the little slalom run, wasn't he? What I find with Odegaard, Stan, is that he likes to have the ball. He likes to protect it. And he had the ball, went past 2 players, didn't he? Instead of blasting it, he just literally passed it into the bottom corner of the net and scored. I thought it was a class goal.
It's like, in FIFA, when you hold the right bumper button to do the finesse shot instead of just smashing it, you can do like a controlled. That's what he does. He's got such technical ability. And again, for the amount of money that we forked out for Martin Odegaard, I think it's been a fantastic bit of business. And he's only going to get better. He's only going to get better. I think we're really lucky to have this guy. I do. I think there was talk about getting James Morrison Maddison.
for Maddison, that's it, for like 75 mil.
Oh.
Which, let's be honest, like that would have been a huge mistake. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I think getting Martin Odegaard for less than 40 million is absolutely brilliant bit of business. And he's, like you said, he's going to get better, and especially next season where he knows he's going to have to step up. He knows he's going to be playing European competition and the league. You know, there's going to be an expectation now of, guys, we need to get into the top 4. Whatever talk they have when preseason training starts, it's going to be, okay, we now need to get into the top 4. We have to play better. You give him a striker in front of him, someone who can run, he's going to play better. You saw his performances stepped up when Eddie Nketiah came in the squad, because someone who can hassle defenders and draw defenders out gives players like that more space. And then when you've got Saka to one side of you, and then you've got Martinelli or Emile Smith-Rowe to the other side of you, and a striker who can actually run in front of you, it's, you know, it's brilliant.
I watch him play, and I hate to make the comparison, but I it's in my head every time. I watch him do stuff, and I'm like, he's doing everything that I thought Ozil was supposed to do. That's how I feel when I watch him play. You know, the way that he gets around the pitch, you know, trying to get involved, even on the defensive side of his game as well, trying to help out. I watch him play, and I think to myself, I didn't see Ozil do any of this.
You wanted Ozil to run. I think, you know, I know people used to. I used to come on these podcasts we used to do after the games, and me and Chris would be like, "Oh, he's got a laboured style. It looks like he's lazy, but he's not." No, fuck that. Ozil was lazy. He was definitely lazy on the pitch, and there's all, you put up all these stats where he covers the most ground, not with the ball. Like you can cover the most ground, but if you don't have the ball with you, it's nonsense. But you're right. I want Ozil to be what Martin Odegaard is and could be. Like, let's face it, Ozil was brilliant. That boy that could find a pass like the eye of a needle. He was very, very good. However, you know, towards the end of his Arsenal career, he went sour. But Martin Odegaard coming in, like formerly Noza said, he's literally Ozil with better work rate. And that's what we need. That's what we need from our attacking midfielder. And I just feel that you give him a striker who runs and can finish in front of him, watch his assist stats go through the roof. Like, I'm not going to put too much pressure on him, but, you know, he will get a load of assists if you give him a striker, a good striker in front of him.
And as well, I mean, if we are, you know, the strikers that we're going to be targeting, they're going to be looking at that squad and thinking, "Oh, yes, please, Martin Odegaard, 7 on the plate for me. Thank you very much."
100%. I agree.
So I think that's the game covered. Just for anybody new that is joining us, we have this breaking news that Liverpool didn't win the Premier League. Man City did. I know. What? 99 goals.
Oh my God.
And glad to see. Are you glad to see? But I hate Burnley. I hate Watford. I would have liked Norwich to have stayed up, and it would have been hilarious for Everton to go down. So what's your thoughts?
Nah, fuck them. Genuinely, like, I'm sick of these yo-yo clubs. Like, Norwich are flipping annoying.
Like Fulham and West Brom.
Yeah, like Fulham are going to go back down next season because they're going to sell. You know, when they come up, their striker, what's his name again?
Mitrovic.
Yeah, he doesn't score in the Premier League. Like, he scores these ton of goals in the Championship, comes to the Premier League, gets that 4 goals, goes back down to the Championship, gets that 25 goals, comes back up to the Premiership, gets nothing. So sick of him. And then their winger, they've sold to Liverpool, which is one of their best players as well. So, they can go down. I don't hate Watford, maybe because of the Troy Deeney link, probably. I know he's left there now, but that's probably why I don't like Watford. Burnley can fuck off. Like, genuinely, I'm sick of their bully boy tactics of trying to rough people up and all that nonsense. They can go to hell. I'm glad they've gone. So I don't have to see their stupid face. They're like just like another Stoke, aren't they? Like, just
that's it.
Hate them.
Exactly.
Yeah, just hate them. Like, just piss off. Like, so I'm glad we have to see them next season. And then next season coming up, who is it? It's Fulham, Bournemouth, and
it's going to be Forest, or who is the other one? Forest or Huddersfield.
I'd see Forest come up.
I'd like to see Forest come up. They gave us our first ever football kits, didn't they?
23. Yeah. No, that wasn't right. The history people said that wasn't right.
Is it?
They said they've had dug up and said no, and they said also teams don't usually travel away to. I think the theory was that Forest came down to Arsenal. Arsenal didn't have their kit, and so Forest gave them theirs. But why would Forest be bringing their home kit to an away game? They didn't. And so, yeah, they've found some stuff that said no, had nothing to do with Forest. There you go. Mark Andrews and Andy Kelly.
I mean, Forest haven't been in the Premier League for what 20 odd years.
23.
20, yeah, so I'd like to see them come up, and it's a new place to go, isn't it? Like Nottingham Forest. Although they knocked us out of the FA Cup, so we need a little bit of revenge on them, don't we? So we can beat them twice next season and send them back down.
Stan, formerly known as a question. Hey guys, have Liverpool won the league?
No. Oh. Breaking news. In case anyone didn't know, Liverpool have not won the league. So
I thought they were going to win the quadruple though.
Well, they were the best team ever. Oh well.
Not.
No, said he did like Sean Dyche though. No, he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I agree, Nanny.
Yeah. Dejan says Mitrovic have EXP poacher, make him chase and score, but he can't get a full time on the EPL. Yeah, he doesn't. He's broke the. Didn't he get 42 goals in 43 games for Fulham or something in the Championship?
Wow.
Yeah, Mark says Norwich, Watford, and Burnley have already been given a financial advantage for next season in the Championship. Yeah, the parachute payments last 3 years, don't it? I think that's a little bit too long. Maybe give them 2 years or one, even maybe just 1 year, because it's get like you were saying, Karl, the same teams: Bournemouth, West Brom, Fulham, Norwich, bounce back up and down, up and down. It's so hard for any other teams in that league to try and do anything about it, because last season Fulham and Bournemouth went down, and Bournemouth the season before that, and now they're back again.
But this is the problem with this parachute payments, you're going to have those people or those teams who are always going to be like the richest in the league, and it's going to be harder for any other team to come up. I think. Like I would love, I'm South London, so I would love like a Millwall or a Charlton or someone like on Charlton, one aren't they? But yeah, I'd love like a Millwall to come up, like South London derbies. Like I'd love that, but you know they're never going to be able to compete with the people the yo-yo teams who go up and down all the time. So you know, I think the Championship, although it's one of the best leagues, is harder for those teams, sort of 7th and below, to try and compete with the teams that go up and down all the time. I think Phil Macker, I agree with it. Why reward relegation? Absolutely correct.
Yeah, very good point.
Richard says, wasn't it Fred Bardsley who used to play for Forest who got some kit off them? I can't remember what the updated thing was, but yeah, go onto Twitter and go and find Mark Andrews and Andy Kelly, whose name isn't Andy Kelly on Twitter. He's got some letters and numbers. Mr. Waffle said they last 3 years. What if they come back up next season and go down after? Are they getting 2 payments? No. If they go down again, their 3 year payments gets reinstated. So Norwich have gone down now. They get 3 years of payment. If they get up, they've got no years, and if they go down again, they get the 3 years starts again. Yeah. So it's like a continuous rolling contract, which is stupid. Yeah, like Phil says, why reward relegation? I think it's because that was part of the deal when the Premier League used to belong to the Football League, because you had the Football League and the FA Cup. The FA were 2 separate organisations, and then the Football League had divisions 1, 2, 3, 4, and the League Cup, and the FA had the FA Cup, and then the FA set up the Premier League, and part of the agreement, the teams had to agree to leave the Football League and join the Premier League. And 24 teams at first, and then part of the agreement was that the teams would get financial compensation for going back down to the Football League, and they agreed promotion and relegation. But in the first couple of seasons, we had 4 teams go down from the Premier League, and then it was 3 went down. And remember when we had the playoff? It was, I think, Charlton had a playoff to stay in the Premier League.
So are you saying then that the parachute payments really was an inducement to get the teams to leave the Football League and join a new Premier League? Really?
Something along those lines. Such a long time ago, but yeah, that was the gist of it.
Interesting.
Right, what else have we got to... verbal backflips. They've been watching this for the last 10 years. It will be... including the Steve's Ball Collective, it was be 10 years. This is the 10th year, but for ABW it's only 9 years. What are you going to say, Karl?
I'll answer this question now and have a little think about it. Don't answer it now. So if there's one player, and I'm realistically, because I have to give loads of players I'd want to sign. If there's one player realistically you'd want to sign for next season, who would it be? Like, I know it's a question you probably might have to think about, so I'll get back to it at the end of the game, end of the podcast. Sorry, but yeah, just one player who you think would improve us next season, who realistically would come to Arsenal.
Tammy, all day long.
You think him, like, over someone like a Gabriel Jesus?
Jesus isn't going to get in the air, is he?
That's
Abraham's will. Huh?
That's mine, is Gabriel. He knows what it's like to win. He's been in the winning team, and he can play in a number of positions that would really benefit us. He doesn't have to be signed just as our focal point striker and bank everything on him. He could still play in the side alongside another striker. I just think that for the amount of money that I think we could be able to get him for, I think it would be a good option. The other one that I like, that I'll keep hearing is going to be made available, Frankie de Jong. I'd love that to happen. I hear that Barcelona keep saying that he's going to be made available, and he doesn't necessarily have Man United as his first choice. I'd love that to happen as well. I think that would be a good benefit to us. But yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, but I think the whole thing with him was he wasn't really doing well at Man City, and so they were just thinking we're going to get rid of him, and then he suddenly got, goals, sir. Right, I'll be on my way.
He has been doing fine, I think, at Man City. I can even way back in the season when they had that strange formation, I think last season as well, where they're deploying him on the wing and having Sterling sort of like through the middle. He's still chipping in the goals.
If people are wondering why ABW suddenly start doing decent tweets, it's down to Karl, because Karl's been doing all the tweets, and Karl did this one today. Karl, you did this.
What did I do? I can't remember.
The Dominic Calvert-Lewin in a dress.
Did I?
Well, I didn't tweet it.
I didn't. It must have been Josh. It wasn't.
Bloody Josh.
That wasn't me. Surely no.
So there's a picture of for HOMME, which I think is French for Man Plus. There's a picture of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's got like a knee-high skirt, just above a thigh-high skirt on, and he's dressed like a schoolgirl. And then someone said the tweet was, "Bring DCL to Arsenal." Do you like it?
Oh yeah, no. I said I didn't tweet the picture, but I said bring DCL to Arsenal, so that must have been Josh who added the picture.
Oh no, it's Ron Ree. Ron Ree's added it underneath. I didn't see.
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
He's added that.
So I will take him. I definitely would take him. One, I think we need to up our English contingent of players because I think we're struggling probably with filling the quota at the moment. And I think he does. I think he's a focal point. He's fast. He's good with his feet. So I think he would. I think definitely would improve us. But I'm not. We need two strikers. And whatever striker you bring in, you lie to them. You say, you're going to be our main striker. And then if the next one comes in, you say, you're going to be the main striker. Like, you pit them off against each other because that's what you want, competition. So, yeah, whoever, we need two strikers. And you just told them, you're going to be the main one. So they both come in, first day of training, thinking, yeah, I'm going to be the main one. I'm the main one. And then, whoever scores the most goals in training, that's who plays. Some of them are going to get Europa League games. Some of them are going to get league games. There may be a time where you need to play both of them up front. Who knows? But for me, someone like when I was talking about the World Cup, like someone like Calvert-Lewin, who's going to play out of his skin to try and make that World Cup squad. He's going to want to go to the World Cup, so he's going to play. If he can stay fit, he's going to play much harder to try and get into that squad. I mean, Harry Kane's always going to be the main person, but behind Harry Kane, striker-wise, England, there's not much behind him. Gone the days where England had a plethora of brilliant strikers like Shearer, Sheringham, Cole, Wright, Fowler. Those days are gone. We don't have that anymore. So I think someone like Calvert-Lewin coming in, and Arteta sits him down and says, you want to make the World Cup squad, you give them a reason to make that World Cup squad. You play out your skin. And you made it. So, yeah, I think my one would be Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
On Twitter at the moment, Kaya Kanak, who is a journalist, has tweeted pictures like this, and this is the third picture. El Neni with a pen and looks like a contract and having photos taken. So people are assuming he's signed a new contract. Is that good? If it's true,
it's a squad player, and at the moment we're going to need that. Like you said, Danny, we're playing 15 extra games next season, and let's be very honest, Partey is not the most. He's not going to stay fit for the whole season. So if you can bring in El Nene for all the Europa League games and rest Partey for them, and he can play the league games, I'll take that. Do you agree, Stan?
Big fan of El Nene, for some time, and if we can keep him, we're going to need depth anyway. And as I've always said, if El Nene's only say 70% what your best midfielder is, at least you get the full 70% every time he plays, and I'm happy with that.
No,
Nick says, he's signing a birthday card for Doris the Tea Lady.
Or maybe they're just sitting around working out today's Wordle.
We've got a few questions here. One from Sai. What are the most realistic targets for next season? Top 4 or 2 cup finals? Which one of those two, Stan, do you reckon was most likely?
I would love us to win the Europa League. I really would, and still finish in the top 4. Not use that as the get out of jail to get in. I want us to, finish and qualify for the top 4. But I'd love us to win the Europa League. I would love this group of players to have the experience of going through the tournament together and winning it, and then being hungry to then the following season go into the Champions League with that will to win. I'd love them to win it.
Karl?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be easier to qualify for the Champions League winning the Europa League than finishing in the top 4. I genuinely do. I think there's going to be so many clubs trying to get into the top 4. I think you've got the top 2 who are always going to be the top 2 for a number of years. You've got, unfortunately, that lot up the road who seem to have got their shit together. Hopefully they have a summer of turmoil where Harry Kane wants to leave, because if he leaves and Real Madrid didn't get Mbappe and they're coming for Son, fuck, I'd love that so much. You've got Chelsea, at the moment, you don't know where Chelsea are going to be because you don't know how much money they're going to have and what they can do with their players. Newcastle are going to, I'm not saying Newcastle can get to the top 4, but they are going to improve loads next season. And sadly, I think with Ten Hag, Man United may have got a manager who knows what he's doing. So I'm not too sure about them. But I think top 4 next season is going to be very, very competitive.
Just want to share a screen with you of something I've just seen on Twitter that I think is absolutely hilarious. For people at home and on the minibus, I will tell you what's happening. In the 84th minute, it was Liverpool 2, Wolves 1, and someone told all the Liverpool fans that Aston Villa had scored a 3rd goal.
I wanted to see their faces as the news started to filter through the crowd. That wasn't the case, to see the hearts breaking.
I couldn't play too much more because in case they showed a little bit of football and then they take down this video. Couple more questions. Phil says, Karl, so who is up for beating Spurs in the Europa final after they get dumped out of the Champions League? Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
No, my nerves would not be able to take that game. No,
that's it.
At all. I would. playing Chelsea last time was worse enough. Like, but playing playing Tottenham, my nerves would absolutely just be shot to pieces.
I'd love it though. This is what we live for. I would be like bricking it, but this is what I'd love it to happen. That's what we live for, right?
It is, but I just couldn't take. I mean, losing. It's like losing out to top 4 this season. It is. It hurts, but it hurts more who we lost out to. That's what hurts the most.
Yeah.
Womble wants to know where you got your couch, Karl. It looks comfy. I've actually got a brown fake leather couch. It cost me 200 quid from Tesco, and I never sat on it, and I've had it 4 years.
God, I can't remember, but I'm replacing this very, very soon.
We're going to do.
Sell it to procrastinating Womble for the right price. Buy a collect.
I don't want a leather couch anymore. Like, I want a material one, so this one's going.
Well, it's just stop sitting on there with no clothes on, and you won't keep sticking to it in the hot weather. Jashar says, "Evening, fellas. What are your thoughts on the Saliba situation? I think he'll come back, and I think he'll stay, and I think he'll do well. Either of you two?
Why can't he just come back?
Yeah,
work hard, believe in his talents, and try to force his way into the team. That's all I can ask for."
Yep, I agree. Karl?
I think it's slightly mismanaged. I think one of Arteta's worst decisions he ever made was playing Mustafi over Saliba. I think that was something that he would have regretted. I mean, I know it's the French league, and I know we joke about it, but he's gone to the French league and he's torn it up. Like he's done really, really well in the French league. So credit to him. But playing Mustafi over Saliba, playing Mari over Saliba, not putting him into the Europa League squad. Arteta is a villain for that, and I think he probably knows he made a massive mistake doing that. And like Stan said, next season, come back and battle Ben White for that right centre-back's place. Because I think that would be a massive battle, and I think that would be absolutely brilliant. And that's what you want. You want competition for places, and I think that would be absolutely brilliant. So I welcome him back, definitely.
So do I. I've got a couple of quotes here from Rudy. I saved them, but forgot to read them. Arteta on the decision over El Neni, Laka and Eddie. It's been decided, but it's very difficult to communicate it. What they deserve to have, what they had today, to do it early is very awkward, and it could disrupt the club and the team. Not sure what to make of that. There might have been another one that I didn't see in there.
There's no way we can sign Lacazette, right? Like, no one wants to keep Lacazette, right? No way.
He said, with about 12 games to go this season, someone in the chat said, "What do you reckon will come first, the end of the season or Lacazette's next goal?"
Like, there's just no way we can keep Lacazette, like, at all. He's had his time. How would you rate, Stan? How would you rate his time at Arsenal? Would you rate it a success, a failure, or indifferent? I think failure is probably harsh, but would you rate it like a good time at Arsenal or probably just indifferent?
Well, you said it a moment ago about hindsight being a great thing. And for me, in hindsight, we should have basically kept Oliver Giroud and not bought Lacazette, and had, Giroud trying to work with Aubameyang as a backup and a plan B. Probably would have worked better. And I was really pleased when we signed Lacazette. He came with a good reputation. I knew a little bit about him, but it's never really clicked for him at Arsenal, I don't think. He's never really managed to even put up the numbers that Oliver Giroud would put up for us in the season. And we were told that Giroud wasn't good enough to take us to the next level. So, shame. I don't want to give him another contract though. It is a little bit of a shame though that you pay out over 50 million for a player and you're not going to get a penny back though.
Same with Aubameyang.
Yeah, but them
so much money lost. Same with Ozil.
Yeah.
Jeez,
I think. I hear what you're saying, but I think Aubameyang. I mean, let's face it. Aubameyang won us the FA Cup. Single-handedly dragged us through. Then. Has Lacazette ever done that? No. not at all. The chances that he's missed, and the runs that he's gone on and hasn't scored, not at all. Like I don't want to say his time was a failure at Arsenal, but sadly, he's only going to be remembered for bad things. He's never going to be remembered. Oh, like, can you remember a stand-up moment for Aubameyang in the whole time he's been here? Like, I can remember
the celebrations with Lacazette.
That's it. I can remember the goal he scored against Spurs on his left foot. But barring that, I can't think of a game where, oh my God, like you think, oh my God, like I said, like he turned that game around. Like, I just can't think. So yeah, I think that
maybe that goal that he scored against Wolves, I think. Remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah. When to 2-1. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that is, and that's really it for me.
That is very sad indeed. We've got a couple of other. I'm just trying to do some stuff on there. What else have we got?
Formulas is like Chris Carpenter enters the chat.
Michael says goal against Chelsea. That was important. Divian says, have Villa scored against Liverpool yet? Have the Liverpool won the league yet? We're not sure. There's been no actual news on that. Jashar says, with the French-speaking group being dismantled, do you think Saliba will want to come back? I don't think who speaks French is going to be much of a thing on whether he comes back or not. I think it's all down to Arteta and whether he wants him. Waffle says, yes, Alba carried us to the FA Cup. Laka did nothing of note. Right, I think that's it. Right, tonight at 10 o'clock is going to be, Mike is in a gutter drunk somewhere in North London. So joining me for the Sunday roast is going to be Soph from the Highbury squad. And we're going to have a chit chat about all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to got a whole list of people I want to come on and replace Mike for the Sunday roast things. Hopefully I'll get round to everybody eventually. Karl, have you got any plans now the season is over?
I am going to follow the biggest ITK in football, which is Chris Carpenter. Chris_runs with a Z because he's cool. If you want to know anything about anything in French football, follow him because Thomas Lemar apparently is on his way to Arsenal. No, that was in 2018, wasn't it?
It's going to happen. It was done.
So, it was done. Like the paperwork was signed, but apparently didn't have enough time to complete it. So, watch this space, people. Thomas Lemar to Arsenal, Chris Carpenter, 2018.
Wow, excellent. Stan, what are you up to?
I'm looking forward actually to having a little break now from this season because it has been a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah, but how long before you're jonesing for some football? That is usually about a week, isn't it?
Yeah, about a week. Yeah.
The Champions League will be over next week, and then after that, you'll be thinking, flipping hell, there's nothing. And the problem is, it'll be silly season where, like you said, we're signing this player, and everyone's like excited, and then people start tracking the planes. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that, genuinely.
Yeah, like the best one though, wasn't it? Was the Isak Rolls Royce that was seen in the number plate. It wasn't even. He comes to London. Oh, I need to hire a car. I'm going to hire out a Rolls Royce to drive around in and get a private number plate as well.
These people have obviously never dealt with a DVLA because I've changed private plates 4 times on 3 different vehicles, and those fuckers don't get anything done the same day or the same month. So
if I go somewhere for the weekend, I'm lucky if I hire out a Ford Fiesta or a Tesla. Sometimes I just have a bicycle if I'm in Amsterdam, right? But I'd just like to say as well, I've really enjoyed being on here this season. I'd like to say a big thank you to you guys and to everybody in the chat for welcoming me in for these post-match reports that we're doing, and I'm really looking forward to next season as well. So thank you.
You've done more than that shit person Ellis has done this season. Fuck Ellis. Ellis is. I still love him, but fuck him, like genuinely. He's supposed to be looking after our Nick, and do you know what made me laugh, Danny, in the group chat when he goes, "Oh yeah, I thought I saw you in A&E, but I just didn't go up to you." Like, what the fuck? Like,
it's a coffee break.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Ellis. Like, Okay, but I want to just reiterate flipping what Stan said. Like the chat has made us this season. It's just been brilliant interacting with people, and you're not always going to agree. People don't always agree with me. People don't agree with Chris. People don't agree with Danny. No one agrees with Danny because he's shit. But and that's what makes football good. If we all agreed on the same thing, it would be rubbish. It would be boring. And the fact that people have different views and come out, and we get angry when Arsenal lose. We get angry. Everyone gets angry. We all have different opinions. Whether you're Arteta in, Arteta out, this person in, this person out. Just support the team. Don't let Arsenal stress you. That's one thing I've learned. I don't let Arsenal stress me at all. When Arsenal lose, I switch off. I don't watch match of the day. I don't watch highlights because I'm not letting Arsenal ruin my weekend in the slightest. Not happening. So next season, we come back. We deal with whatever we need to do. And hopefully, this time next season, we're sitting here talking about how we just won the Europa League and the FA Cup. And we've cemented fourth, and that's what's good about this season. Like so much twists and turns, unexpectedness. So, you know what? Next season, let's hope that we're celebrating.
Do you like the banner at the bottom now? It just continuously says #fuck Ellis. It will do that all day long. What a shitbag. What a horrible man for being that good looking and having a lovely family and a gorgeous missus. Absolute scumbag. I'll still be doing the Sunday roast every Sunday. Hopefully get some more when Mike is busy, get some more of ABW on there. Me and John were late last night because we were talking about 10 minutes about trading cards. I don't understand it. I just find it endlessly entertaining. And then I think that's about it. We'll be back at 10 o'clock tonight for that chat. We've got this is our 1000th YouTube show. Some of them have only been short ones or 30-second ones, but it's our 1000th one. The next thing coming up is going to be maybe the podcast will be a season review, and then we've got the awards, the ABW awards that'll be coming out in the next couple of weeks, and then we've got the predictions, looking back at our own predictions, which is going to be good. Dean, the Everton fan, I was nearly going to ring you today, Dean, yesterday, see if you want to do the preview show. He's an Everton fan. He said, I made up that those horrible cop-out bastards didn't win it. Oh, Liverpool didn't win the league.
They didn't win the league?
They didn't win the league.
Oh,
absolutely shocking. But they're the best team in the
That's
world. It is.
I think that should be on the banner, Danny. Like that should be the banner. Liverpool didn't win the league.
You give me long enough, and I'll give it a go.
No, but we'll be in and around the summer, won't we, Danny? Like we'll probably do one-off shows and maybe W After Dark and all that jazz. I think so. Yeah, I think this season has been one ups and downs. Like if you would have said when we finished 8th last season, if you would have said to us that we're going to finish 5th next season, I think everyone would have bitten your hand off. Mm-hmm. Definitely, and I think we've achieved our targets. We're in the league. We're in Europe. We've just missed out on the top 4 finish, playing with basically a handicap, haven't we, Stan? Like with no striker. Next season, hopefully, because nothing's guaranteed, we are definitely going to have a striker, Mick 2, who can put the ball in the back of the net. So when we've got that, then you know what? Long may it continue, and we will be celebrating definitely a top 4 finish.
Yeah, it's a big season for Mikel Arteta. No backsliding. So. He can't finish below where we are now. He can't slide back now. So no excuses. Can no longer say that he's a rookie manager. It's his 3rd season now. He's completed his 3rd season. He knows the ropes.
Quick question: if he doesn't make top 4 next season, does he go?
No. We've got to make top 5.
Depends if we win anything as well, right? If we win the Europa League, but if we win no cups and we don't make Europe, then that's not good enough, right? We're going to go big in the summer, so there should be more improvement.
And also a little bit more breaking news: someone's broke into the shit Hart Lane Stadium and they've taken a picture of their trophy cabinet. There we go. I'm
assuming it's empty.
It is completely empty. There's a picture on the screen of an empty display cabinet. It's
a nice cabinet, though.
I just look at that and I think how much money they wasted having those lights on for all these all these years of nothing. So yeah.
I think the wood there is teak, if I'm not mistaken.
It's 2,000 years old and had very little use. One very careful owner, not been opened. But the last time they opened that, Gary Mabbutt was still in pajamas. Nice pajamas. Anyway, people, thank you very much. I'm just going to see if if Sophie and the Highbury squad are live yet, because they're meant to be doing their show at 8 o'clock. They're not live yet, but yeah, Sophie is going to be on at 8 o'clock. They said. Here is their YouTube. There's plenty of other decent ones to go and look at too. But if you go over to the Highbury squad, tell Sophie and Big Kev Campbell, Arsenal legend. You know, I DM'd him the other day on Twitter. I went, I haven't spoke to you for a while, Kev. How you doing? And he messaged me right back and said, I'm doing really well. How are you? That's the kind of bloke he is. I never met him. Just done a few shows with him. He followed me on Twitter for some unknown reason, which he hasn't regretted yet. And he replied straight back asking how I was. What a gentleman.
Must get him on in next season.
We've had 2 ex-players on this season. No, we've only had 1. So Kev Campbell's going to win the ABW Pro Guest of the Year award. Congratulations. Back-to-back winners for him. Because the only one we've had on. And yeah, we're going to go. So we'll see you all at 10 o'clock. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, Stan. You've been brilliant.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, Karl. You've been delightful as always.
No worries, Daniel. Always here to help.
And thank you very much to everybody in the chat. You have been wonderful, and we will be back at 10 o'clock and then some more shit over the summer. Right, ending the show. Goodbye.
Liverpool didn't win.